They irritate the irritated, flex perplexities, poise puzzles, magnify mysteries, impose inquiries, and coagulate quandaries. But more importantly, they ask one question.
Why would you make this? Hello everyone, welcome and thank you for listening. This is Why Would You Make This, the only podcast to watch publicly confirmed bad movies and genuinely try to answer the question, why would you make this? You just heard Falling Off Your Love by Kill Paris. I am Jimmy Time. I am joined by one of my co-hosts today, Danny Money. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. Also joining us today, he runs a comic blog highlighting the impressively drawn and cleverly written comic panels he reads. His name is Skylar, the comic blog guy.
And that's me.
All right, how you doing? Good.
I'm doing fantastic, actually.
Good,
Thank
good.
you.
So we watched The Fantastic Four from 1994. It's actually unreleased. This is really today right now it's a really hectic podcast, so to speak, because usually there's an intro about the day it's released, and then we talk next about the titles, how it's translated weirdly, but this wasn't released, so we don't have any of that information. Usually the titles go right into your budget. There's probably nothing for you to find.
Well, I didn't find a gross because obviously it was unreleased, but I did find a budget.
Oh, yeah.
The budget was $1.5 million, which I read online that apparently the majority of the budget was used to make the Thing's suit in the movie.
Yes.
I was going to say, so they made a profit on the budget then, because they did not spend that much money on the film.
And they said that's why the special effects kind of seemed a little cheesy, was because of that, because they ended up running out of money a lot quicker than they thought they were going to.
Oh, I don't know, that Human Torch. That was some pretty good for 94.
I thought, well, see, the thing about the thing, you look at this and you go, this isn't bad for 94, but then you have to go ahead and realize that Jurassic Park came out in 93.
I know, I thought the exact same thing.
Oh, wow, I didn't even think of that.
The whole time I'm watching this film, I go, what? This movie's not too bad for the 70s. Oh, 94, right. Oh!
Best CGI of the 70s.
That's actually funny that you say that, because I was watching it again earlier, and my girlfriend came over, and she's like, oh, when's this movie from, the 80s? I'm like, no.
Nope. Mid-90s.
94.
Yeah.
Or
Months before the Power Rangers came out.
Terrible.
Well, I think actually Power Rangers might have came out in 93, so probably at the same time.
Awful.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, I'm a little lost because, like I said, we should be doing stuff that we can't do. The film had such a low budget. It was used, I read that too, that it was all used on the Thing's costume. Technically it was all used on mutated Ben Grimm because nobody called him the Thing in this.
That's true, yeah.
he said, what kind of a thing am I?
That's as close as we ever get. Nobody ever calls him the Thing. He doesn't call himself
he looked
Thing.
Terrible. Like an alien, like Muppet, like his head was misshapen, like
thought-
a helmet.
Looking at the comic,
his lips and teeth moved like way too differently.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll give you that. But I don't know, I thought the costume wasn't too bad.
No, I thought, comparatively, if we're basing the Thing on the comic version of the Thing, I think this one is better than the Michael Chiklis one in the other Fantastic Four film.
Oh yeah, that orange foam.
The orange.
Yeah.
No, the CGI. Or was that foam too? I thought it was all CGI.
He was all in there. That was all him in makeup.
That's terrible.
That was him.
Yeah, that was CGI
boy.
too. Wow, okay.
No, yeah, I thought this film's Thing was better than that one. So
Maybe.
All right. I thought so. I don't know.
I agree with you on that one.
But one thing I did find out is that, according to an interview with Kevin Smith, the filmmaker Kevin Smith, Stan Lee, the creator of the Fantastic Four, said that unknown to the cast and crew, the movie was never intended to be released. It was made only because the studio that owned the rights had to make another movie or they would lose the rights. So they just started production and went, okay, now we still have the rights, and went, whatever happens.
But they told the actors, this is going.
Well, I mean, they didn't.
Even though they didn't have.
They didn't tell them it wasn't going. I can tell you that much. They didn't go. Yeah, they know this is BS. Right?
So I wonder what they told the actors after a few years when it didn't come out. A fire. That's a good answer. Fire. A fire burnt the film.
Well, we were doing the post editing on Johnny Flame, and we were like, let's add some fire. How about we add real fire? That was a mistake. So now the film's over. It's gone.
That's not how you add fire.
That's not. Yeah, that's.
We learned that day.
We'll get it. We'll get it right. Yeah, I read that it was all. But the thing about all the money being spent on the costume was I didn't think this. I mean, it probably could have been better. I mean, like we just said,
Couldn't even
Jurassic Park.
move.
Yeah, I know, but I thought it was fine
so
because
stiff.
he's made of rock. Well, how flexible should he be?
Well, he should be able to like scratch his neck. He couldn't bend that much.
But I didn't think the special effects were really that lacking. Like I thought the special effects were kind of. I don't know. You know what? It's so hard actually to say that because I keep going. I thought the special effects were pretty good for the 70s, but no, it's not. Like every time I look at it, I go, well, for the 80s, this isn't too bad. No, it's 1994.
They should have something,
Every time I look at this film, I go, for the 70s, this is fantastic. No, it's not a 70s porno. It's a real produced film from 1994.
Let's make it take place in the 70s, and we'll put all the production value back in the 70s, make it look real authentic.
Like, yeah, right? That's probably a genius idea. Just make all your films in the past. You go, why does it look so bad? Oh, it's from the past.
Save on budget.
Yeah, that makes sense, I think. Oh man, they must have spent a lot of money. Like if they were given $1.5 million, they must have spent $1.4 million on the costume.
Oh, yeah.
Because like
do you
even the hair was awful. Like everybody's hair in this film, I just kept going. Was there no combs in the set? Like you guys didn't have anything? All right, well, we're already kind of like tearing this film apart. We haven't even really gotten into it yet. So let's go ahead and get to our favorite hour, the Troy McClure Hour. Hello there, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such failed superhero films as Doctor Strange and the Malpractice Suit, and Spider-Man, the Man with 1,004 Pet Spiders, Part 2. Today, I'm here to teach you about copyright law. Okay, Alex Hyde White plays Dr. Reed Richards. You remember him from such roles as young Henry in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Was that what I remember him from?
I guess, I don't know. Or maybe you recognize him as Lindsey Graham in the 2012 TV movie Game Change. That's the movie about Sarah Palin, starring Julianne Moore. No? Oh, all right.
What, he played Lindsay?
Lindsey Graham. That's a man. He's a senator.
Oh, okay.
He's a U.S. senator, yeah. And most recently, I didn't put down the name of the character he played, but most recently, he was in the 2015 movie Cloudy with a Chance of Love. I didn't write down the name. I don't know why, but I didn't.
Not worth it.
Cloudy
Yeah.
with a Chance of Love?
Yep.
It was
like
a porno?
No, it's a TV movie.
Oh, I thought it was like a knockoff of like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
No.
Probably is.
It might be. It could be.
It probably is.
A Chance of Love.
All right. Next is Jay Underwood. He plays Johnny Storm. You remember him from such roles as Bug in the 1989 film Uncle Buck. Sonny Bono in the 1999 TV movie And the Beat Goes On, the Sonny and Cher story. And most recently, Dave in No Greater Love. Next is Rebecca Stabb, who plays Susan Storm. You may remember her from such roles as Cheryl in Love Potion No. 9. Lucy Gerard in the first season of the 2013 television series Dexter.
Oh, who'd she play? Wait.
Lucy Gerard.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Do you know who that is?
No.
No? Oh, well, that's
I wish I did.
It's first season only, so. And most recently, Wendy in the 2014 short film Between Doors. Michael Bailey Smith plays Ben Grimm. You remember him from such roles as Pluto and Papa Hades in The Hills Have Eyes 1 and 2, respectively. Skinhead number 1 in several episodes of the 2005 TV series My Name is Earl. And most recently, Jace in Bus Driver. I just want to point out that with the exclusion of Michael Bailey Smith, almost everybody, including Doom, who I didn't mention, is currently filming something called Surge of Power: Revenge of the Sequel.
Huh?
There's some film called Surge of Power: Revenge of the
reunion
Sequel,
and it's a
they're
sequel?
all in it for some reason.
Strange.
I didn't write this down, but Michael Bailey Smith plays Ben Grimm. There's a different guy in the Thing costume who's not him. It's a totally different guy.
But that's
yeah.
his voice, though, right?
I don't even know that. It may be the
don't
guy
think
in the
so.
costume. It didn't really sound
don't
like
think
him,
so,
so
yeah.
it could be like like a combination of the two. But I don't know. You can see the full cast and crew at imdb.com. Okay. Start the film, I guess. The film opens on space. Just
all
a
of it.
lot. Yeah, all
the
space.
space out there.
All of space.
Now, usually they give you like opening shots of like what's like the main theme of the movie or where it's taking place or what's about like going on. So like, oh, this movie's about space apparently.
Yeah.
No.
It's not.
at
They
all.
technically they just go into like low orbit. Like they don't even go.
That's like Terminator 2 starting off, and it's just a bunch of shots of like an arcade, and it's like all the arcade rooms, kids playing, and it's like, oh, it's about arcade. No, they just show up there once,
that's
but
one
has
scene.
nothing to do with it.
No. Yeah, and this is where it starts already with the whole how old is this film? Because the shots they look like it's the start of the Jetsons. Like they're so old. You're like, these are science shots from the 70s. Like you couldn't even get science like outer space shots from now, from the 90s. You had to get surplus like in NASA from 71.
Well, which makes me wonder that if the studio knew that there was never an intent to release this, if they did that on purpose, if they were just like, you know what, just find the cheapest stuff out there, cheapest shots of space.
Yeah, there were a lot of those
You
shots.
know, just get whatever you can that doesn't cost us more than $10.
Google space.
And you-
Just
exactly.
throw all those videos up.
Well, but this also makes me wonder now because they're showing space a lot. So is that like the Fantastic Four's domain?
Space and time travel.
And time.
All through time. I don't know if the movie, but that's what the Fantastic Four do.
That's what they do. Like if there's
The
trouble,
time travelers?
like if there's trouble in New York City, you go Spider-Man, help me. But if there's trouble in space and time, you go Fantastic Four, help me.
They're one of the people, like, yeah, the Avengers or Fantastic Four. They'll go out there.
That's
So if there's
weird.
an issue in 1987 New York, they'll go back in time.
Yeah, well, they don't time travel themselves. They always just happen to fall into time travel. Like,
Oh, no, there's a loophole to the
Now we're out of-
1960s.
Yeah.
Whoop. Oh, look, everyone's in top hats.
That's how it happens sometimes.
Kinda
Like they're
sound-
fighting Doom, and all of a sudden, up, Blackbeard, we're on a pirate ship, and trust me, dude, Fantastic
What
Four,
the
That-
fuck?
Adventures.
it sounds like they kind of stole a lot from Star Trek, or vice versa.
Really? Because
Or vice
it was
versa.
written in the '60s.
I'm just saying. Either way, I think so was Star Trek. So I don't know.
And next you're
Maybe
gonna
the
tell me
first
they
one,
have
yeah.
a dog that follows around with them, and the dog wears glasses.
No.
Maybe that's just what people thought happened in space back in like the 70s. They're like, what do you do in space? It's time travel. It's just time travel mostly.
It's the only way to get around. So space and credits. Credits in space.
Yeah. I do
Lots of
notice
it.
that the people in charge of music have the last name Worst, which I don't know. I think it kind of applies here because again, they spend no money on the music. At the end, they're like, I would actually. Well, yeah, it is towards the end, I guess, was when they actually start fighting. Like even the first fight scene is like halfway through the movie. Like, but when they start fighting, it sounds like it doesn't sound like an original score. It kind of sounds like they stole Star Wars music.
I was gonna say from A New Hope. It's
Yeah.
the same exact. Oh, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
It was like a few notes off ever so often, but it was the same exact.
exactly. Yeah,
Dun, 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 dun,
Exactly.
dun,
it immediately reminded me of the first Star Wars, Super Star Wars, the video game.
dun. Yep.
Yep, because that's what
On
they have.
Tatooine.
Oh man.
Shooting wombats.
So yeah, then we jump to some sort of class, and the chief from a police academy is teaching class.
My second favorite character of the entire movie.
Pretty sure that's who that was too. That's like the dumb commander from police academy. I'm almost positive that's who
Oh, is
that
that
is.
him?
I think he looks exactly like him. He
Not
sounds
doing
like him
anything
too.
else, yeah.
Should have looked up to confirm it, but
Low budget. We're
What are you
staying.
gonna- yeah.
We're staying into the
Yeah.
theme of the movie.
exactly that's how we do it. Don't give away our secrets.
What's-
Reed and another student are passing a note back and forth. I want to point out that the first time I watched this movie, the quality was so bad that every time Ben Grimm, who's sitting next to him in the scene, every time he shows up on screen, I go, "Is that a new character? Who is that guy?"
I watched a better quality of the film and thought the same thing. So it's not just you. They showed him there. They showed him at the house, and then they showed him at the field. And I thought they were all different people.
okay. Yeah, I thought all three of those were all, but no, they were all Ben Grimm. And like the third time I watched it, I was like,
They're friends?
Oh, that makes sense now. That guy's everywhere.
Exactly. Same exact thing happened to me. It wasn't clear.
No, it wasn't clear. And it doesn't help now that in this movie, he's like a young, like long-haired, like, yeah, I'm a jock. And if you go to IMDb now, he's bald. Like, he's super white. Like, he kind of, there's a reason he played Skinhead #1. Like, he kind of embodies
I
that
remember
look.
him from The Hills Have Eyes, too.
Yeah.
He's a very distinguishable face.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they're passing back and forth some sort of a note, reading another student. He keeps writing stuff on it, whatever.
Schematics.
Yeah. And then the teacher's like, "Come see the crazy comet show." What is Colossus? Is it a comet? Is it like a nuclear fission space
Is it an
reaction?
entity of some sort?
Dude, no joke.
Colossus is an X-Men, first of all.
How often they were like, the Colossus is coming? I was like, so, like, you just renamed Galactus. He's gonna eat the world. Like, what is this thing?
At first, I thought they were saying Galactus, and I thought it was going to be another, like, cloud event, and I was like, come on.
I didn't know what it was.
I don't know. I don't know what
I don't.
Colossus
What
is.
do you know? What they call it, like in the comics? What the cosmic event that happens, or what?
No, they just go through cosmic rays.
It's just but why were they going into space in the comics?
Oh,
Like-
originally?
Yeah, well, if it changes that much, then I guess.
Originally, they were trying to build a rocket ship to go to the stars because originally it was going to be Mars, but Stan Lee thought by the time that comic came out, they would have made it to Mars already. So he just thought he should shoot further and say, just go to the stars.
Okay.
And you can see the quote in the actual comic book. They wanted to beat, like, if we don't do this, the commies will beat us to it. So we have to push forward and
okay.
do this. So that's what was experimental about it.
Yeah.
And
All right, but post commie, what's the modern, I guess, way, if you will? Is it still the same?
they were just wanted to, I think they just wanted to actually see cosmic rays for itself, and then they got too close.
Or does it
and
take a
just-
microscope to cosmic rays?
They wanted to find out, yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, okay. So the teacher's like, come watch the crazy space event that we've never tested before and might kill you. Go ahead. Like, at most, they tried once, and they were teenagers.
I don't know. Let's get into that for a moment. How old they were.
Oh yeah, I wanted to.
I don't have a problem with that. Well, I just want to say that the notes they're arguing over, they argue, then they take it outside, and then they're like, all right, fine, let's agree to disagree. We'll find common ground, and they walk away. And after they walk away, two kind of French-looking guys play chess nearby and suspiciously go,
I thought maybe because he got him to push the experiments, and he wanted to do it with him.
Yeah.
And it kind of like he was like reluctant, but he agreed. Kind of looked like he was planning something, so I thought that was a metaphor. It was like, checkmate. I got you right where I want you. I thought that's what was going on.
It could be. I don't know.
But the guys did look at him for a really long time for no reason.
Yeah. They had berets on, too, I think, for some reason.
Well, didn't they
yeah,
work
look-
for them, though?
Kind of what?
Those two guys? Didn't they work for him?
Oh, later on? I don't know.
Those were those two guys from...
Yeah, no, I know that, but I don't know if they work for him now, like in the past.
He's the monarch of
So he's
Latveria.
always been...
So,
Yeah,
In the history of Doom, he's always, like,
He's
born
always had
in...
Gypsy.
So he doesn't know he's a king yet.
No, he takes over, like... Was it before he went to college? I think right before he went to college, he took over Latveria.
So he was king of Latveria for, like 2 years or whatever. Whatever.
regardless, still a kid.
He's
But-
very precise.
Yeah.
He's
I know.
He's a perfectionist.
No, I noticed that in the film when someone says something wrong and he goes, and he puts his hand to his head and looks thinks and thinks.
I thought every single person was written. Every character was written perfectly.
I'll tell you right now, everything I have wrong with the film, it's not the acting. There's nothing wrong with the acting or the characters.
I had a
or
problem
the,
with Victor acting.
he was a little over the top.
I was like, he
but
was made to be in.
I
the
thought
mask.
I thought that kind of went with the character though.
He was better once the mask went on.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. So after the guys look, and they go to the Mrs. Storm's boarding house, and we see a young girl called down for Johnny, and Johnny's playing video games with a random guy.
I thought that was Johnny.
Oh, the older guy?
The older guy.
Yeah, me too.
I thought that was Johnny.
And the kid ran. I go, I have no clue what's going on in this film so far.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah, who's
Is that the dad? I didn't
Yeah,
know.
I
No,
didn't
the
get
guy
it.
playing video games. Wasn't that Ben?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
realized
yeah.
that like the third time I watched it, though. I went, oh, that's... Oh! Yeah, it was impossible for me to follow
Terrible
this.
shots every time.
So, yeah, this is not... It was like 5 minutes ago, but now we can finally, now that we're at this part, let's definitely get into the ages of these people.
How old do you think Johnny is? Because
Can't be older. I want to say like 9 or 10.
Yeah, I immediately was like, that kid's like 8.
Yeah.
Immediately, I looked at it, I was like,
Because
that's
then
like
10 years
8-year-old
later,
kid.
he would be 18 when
Yeah,
that happened.
that's
So
why
is
I said
is
that.
Oh, yeah?
That's
Okay.
why I said that. So I was like,
So
I think it would make sense.
Susan would be
I think she's like at most like 14.
yeah, like
See, I would
12,
give-
13.
I was gonna say I would give
That's what I thought too. I looked it up to make sure. Like I didn't look up I looked at the actors, just to see. Yeah. I think we were spot on. Like I think. Oh, where the fuck did I write down? Oh shit. Okay, maybe I didn't write it down. Fuck it. Low budget. No, but I looked it up, and the actress at the time, the little girl, she was 14. She's born in 1980.
Okay.
So 1994, she's 14. Same thing. The other kid was born in, I forget what it was, whatever the age is, but he's 10. Or
Do the
something.
math to make sure he's 10. That's what he was.
He's 10. Yeah, so whatever. Yeah, he's 10. I looked it up again. The guy playing Reed Richards, he's supposed to play 10 years later Reed Richards. So right now he's supposed to be playing a younger version of himself.
Yeah.
But real life, which means that in the future, 35. So right now, 25.
God damn.
Yeah. Young Reed in college,
Yeah.
25. Young Susan, 14. Young Johnny, 10.
But the reason thought, a very awkward scene.
Absolutely.
Okay, I thought I didn't,
The
I
whole
was making
thing
sure it wasn't
was
the same.
absolutely awkward. Yeah, when he comes in, he's like, "Oh, you gonna see the Colossus event?" And he's like, "I might even touch it." I don't know what he says. He's like, he's like,
thinking too hard about the scene now.
yeah, I don't know. They're like, "You gonna come watch the storm with us?" And he's like, "No, I gotta go watch the storm."
Well, he's got it. No, he's doing the experiment with Victor. So he's like, I got other things to do.
Yeah, but it's the
should go
he's
see
he's
it.
gonna do. He's like, whatever. They go ahead. They all run their different ways, and Reed and Victor go to the Colossus event. I really shouldn't say Victor yet because we don't know his name yet. But seconds later, he goes, "Victor, let's turn the thing." I go, "Oh, his name's Victor. Okay."
But the kiss.
What kid? Oh, that's right. He
This
kissed
is-
her on the cheek, right?
Yeah, but that was close. And I don't know how. Like, what friend are they? Friends? How do they know each other?
He lives there, I
lives there,
think.
yeah.
He lives there.
Yeah.
Oh no, that is true. He does live.
I presume
no,
him
that's
and
true.
Ben live
that's,
there.
No, he doesn't. I
Ben
don't-
doesn't.
That's
I
not in the
presume Ben
comics.
lived
But
there, yeah.
Richards did live with the Storms.
When they go back, Mrs. Storm is like, "Oh, Ben, let me hug you. It's so good to see you."
Yeah, I was
Hey,
gonna get
Reed.
into that when that happened. I think they banged.
I think everybody's banging.
Whoa.
I mean, everybody's banging everybody in this movie. Yeah, so people are watching nearby with the Colossus thing. It's panning out. I don't know what the heck happens. Whatever they agreed on earlier doesn't pan out. Victor's like, "It's too late. We gotta do it. Let's do it right now."
Pushing it.
Yeah, and they're like, "All right, let's turn the dials," and the machine goes on, and I don't know what happens, but
And now Ben is shown again on the hill, and now I'm staring at him thinking it's not the same person. And I'm like, oh wait, I think that's the jock who was making fun of him before in the other scene.
Yeah.
And then he looks up and goes, "Reed," and he starts running. I was like, this guy's really pissed at Reed. He's about to go beat him up. Like, I didn't know what he was doing.
I was confused because, like you said, I was like, "Oh, I think it's the jock from earlier who made fun of him," and then he was like, "Oh, Reed!" Like, I thought he was going to save him, and I was like,
I thought
"Wait,
he
he
was
just
like-
made fun of him. Now he's going to save him?"
doing his science things again. I want to go get him.
Oh,
He
okay.
was running to go beat
Yeah,
him
I
up.
didn't.
But see, that's the thing. They show him for like a good minute or so, like running.
Oh, that was epic
like,
Baywatch running.
Yeah.
Running, like just gunning it, and then nothing. There's like really no payoff to him running.
he pushed
Well, yeah, but he
Victor
runs.
out of the electric thing.
Well, yeah, but
the one
the
who pushed him
electricity
out.
goes off, and he's like, "Oh, Reed," and he runs, and then they're like, "Oh, Victor, I don't know what's going on," and he runs, and he's like, "Victor, get out of there," and he runs, and Victor's like, "Ah!" for like 10 minutes,
That
and
was
he's
a
like,
terrifying
"Oh no, what's happening? Oh, he's dying," and then he's like, "Ah!" and Reed's like, "He's still dying. Oh my gosh!" And then all of a sudden, here comes Ben. "I'll save you, Reed." "Oh, you're fine. I guess this guy will do." And he tackles Victor.
This guy will do. He was running in slow motion. They were dying in
They were dying in real time, and he was like,
It was so bad. That was a terrible electrocution scene. I was dying laughing. Reminded me of that scene from Home Alone 2.
"Oh," when he touches the electrocution. Okay.
Oh, it was so bad.
Oh man. All right. So yeah, it's Victor saves, or the football guy saves Victor, but it doesn't look good. It's not. He's like, oh no. And then after Ben's like, no, Reed's like, I'll go get some help.
I don't want to be here right now. I'm gonna go.
It's not until Ben turns around and he sees Ben's like covered in burns. He's like, oh, I'll go get help.
Don't care about Victor.
So yeah, in the hospital, Ben's getting wrapped up, and the doctor
My favorite scene.
a doctor with the realest looking beard I've ever seen in my life.
I love this.
He walks up and he's like, he didn't make it. And they're like, oh no. And he's like, where are you taking your body? He's like, to the morgue. Which is a weird question to ask.
He was so creepy.
Yeah, he was a really
serious.
He was really weird. And so they take the body away, and then Ben's like, come here, Reed. And he cries into his arms.
And then he got in the elevator and gave him the look.
Yeah.
This is the best. Oh, it's like daytime soap opera.
So then, are these his like gypsy servants? Then?
These are like his
these are the guys-
hired lead henchmen. Those are the guys playing checkers.
Yeah, no, I get that, but they really should have done something to be like, yeah, you know, this is really Dooms' guys, instead of being like, we're just two random guys just taking a body.
Here's my question now. Because it was the doctor with the realest looking beard ever, and the nurse. Was that a nurse? Like, does Doom also have some other unnamed female henchman? Or was that... Because later on, the beard guy has another partner with him that has the realest looking chin I've ever seen.
I don't know.
Is that him dressed as a nurse, or...
I don't know.
Oh, great. So, maybe Doom has several henchmen. We're not really sure. It gets more confusing later on. I don't know what Doom has control of.
Latveria.
Or, yeah, but I don't like, the whole thing's a mess. The whole thing's a mess to me. We jump 10 years ahead, right? We instantly...
10 years? You mean 100 years? Because they're in Reed's office, and I was like, what future are they
Oh,
in?
right?
It's like
10 years and Reed's building is a spaceship. Like, the inside of his building is a spaceship that I guess, according to like later on in the scene or the next scene or something like that, is also connected with the sewers, like directly. Because that guy pops out of the sewer, and then some stuff happens, and then he pops out of the wall of the building.
He knows all the ways.
He knows everything, I guess. I don't really. Yeah, the whole thing is crazy to
Everything
me.
goes down to the sewers.
So, 10 years later, that football friend, whose name I still haven't learned, it's still just some football friend, he apparently went to the Air Force and is now going to fly a spaceship because those are the same things.
All true.
All true, yes.
All true to this Fantastic Four.
Finally learn that Ben is his name, and he's like, yeah, we just need a crew. First off, I want to point out, 25 to 35, Reed Richards has terrible hair.
Oh, yeah.
He like is under an extreme amount of stress. The guy's 35 and he easily looks like he's in his 50s.
He really stretches himself out.
Yeah. Way too
God,
thin.
I fucking hate that.
So we need a crew. Let's go back to the boarding house. Hey, Mrs. Storm, can Susan and Johnny come out and play in space with us? Awful. They hug way
Yeah.
too long and spin.
She
and-
had such a big face when she saw Ben, and she looks dead in his eyes the
Yeah.
whole time and goes, I really missed both of you so much. And then went and got the kids. Didn't look at Reed once. Just the entire time looks at Ben. I was like, come on.
All I'm
Something-
saying is if you take the age 25 and you take away 8, that's 18. And that's how old Ben Grimm might have been when he banged Susan Storm, which is how old Johnny
When it
is.
happened. And basically, they just showed up joking around. Are you ready for us to take your kids and go to space? And
Yeah.
she's like, yeah, it's going to be
Yes, I'm so happy.
great. What is she on? Is
My
she
children are spending time with their real fathers.
heavily medicated?
Probably. It's possible. Think about it.
I think we're mad, actually.
Think about it. 'Cause Ben would-
There's
Ben
nothing that would
hang
make her
out there.
happier.
Ben would hang out there when Reed wasn't there.
Yeah.
So who'd have known that he would hang out there when Johnny and Sue weren't there either?
He was having a lot of fun. He was playing games with Johnny, trying to teach him things.
Yeah.
Don't get too hot. You know, we gotta
Yeah.
can't be a sore loser.
Gotta learn how to live life.
Wow.
So, yeah.
This is a better film already.
I told you, it'll be great. So, Reed is very reluctant about doing this until the second he sees Susan, and he's like, "Oh shit, me and her alone in space, Buck, yeah."
I might be able to bang her. The little brother too. Just come to dangerous
go ahead.
space.
That's okay. Ben will take care of that.
I'm gonna take care of her.
Yeah. Oh, he will, because Miss Storm's like, don't let anything happen to her, and he's like, I won't.
Don't worry.
No, not to
In
her.
space, no one will.
I
hear
won't.
You
I won't
scream.
let anything happen to her. I'll make things happen to her.
And they will hear her scream.
And so they go to leave, but hang on a second. Mrs. Storm realizes, look at you, the Fantastic Four.
I almost spit out my drink. I was literally drinking something at that moment.
Not the last time we hear that phrase either.
Way too.
No, but when I heard that, I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? How cheesy do you have to be to mention it in the movie?"
I had a lot of hope for the movie up until that
That was
point.
my
And I was
point.
like, oh,
And
Jesus.
you're like, oh, I know where we're going now.
Just show the title again.
Yeah, we're going right to
there.
Funky Town. Absolutely. So we go back to the Baxter building, and the doctor with the realest looking beard I've ever seen. He's a henchman now, and he tells his commander that they're tracking the diamonds, and that some dude in a mask is like, cool, stay there. And a truck pulls up to the Baxter building, and then some guys come out and take some stuff, and they go away. And then some dude pops out of a manhole cover, and he's like, I can smell a diamond a mile away. Who is this guy?
Was so excited when I saw him.
Yeah?
Because I thought he was a cool, modern mole man.
Oh, not the case at all.
But yeah, it was not.
First
it was
off,
not that at all.
The second I looked at him, I was like, who is this really weird cross between Ivan Ooze and Ebenezer Scrooge? That's very clearly like some offensive racial Jewish mockery. Like, I looked at him and I was like, dude, that's pretty offensive. And he was like, I can smell a diamond a mile away. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. It's all right. It's the 70s. No, it's not. It's 94. Jeez. Every time this happens, I keep got to remind myself, it's 94. It shouldn't be this bad.
Which, when they introduced that guy, that's for me when it got even more confusing, because I was like, wait, how many villains are there in this movie?
Oh, I
What's
know.
going on?
I got excited because I thought they were just going to keep coming up. I'm like, oh, just keep pouring them out. I'm fine with this.
More villains,
But
yeah.
no,
No, that was it. We're done. Two's enough.
it's not even a real villain.
Yeah, we don't learn until Doom's like, I'm gonna go visit the jeweler, that we learn that that's his name. Is that a character that you're familiar with at all? The
No,
jeweler?
I tried to look so hard. He was made up for that
Brand-
movie. There is nothing called the
Good.
jeweler in the
Oh,
Marvel
good.
universe.
That's fun. Great. Why not? Why not add a random fake villain to the movie? So inside the Baxter building, Ben is like, hey, Reed, what are we doing here? And then he knocks over some blind lady and breaks her statue. They instantly fall in love. And
I call bullshit on this scene.
what?
Bullshit. Oh my word!
Oh my
ruined.
god, that was the best.
You're so beautiful. I'm blind. I can appreciate this beauty.
Yeah, that's exactly what I
Fuck
have
all
here.
my work.
That's exactly what I have
You're
here.
so beautiful. Wow.
Not even that. Oh, my word. You're safe with me.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Really, guy?
goodness. He's
Come on.
so beautiful.
No.
A blind woman.
No. You know what I
Fell
need?
in love with him.
You know what I need more than a job? The D.
And that guy's D.
Yeah.
That was just terrible.
Oh, that
so
was
awful.
Yeah. Ugh.
And I'll just remind just for this point, did not give pleasantries or exchange names at that point, which was the only time they met.
Which that makes me wonder, rock penis?
Which is funny because when they exchanged their love, he's not so hard anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh.
He was just flesh.
Some performance issues, yeah. Soft
Got
flesh.
nervous.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What a movie already.
Yeah.
So whatever that thing was that jumped out of the manhole cover is now in the walls of the Baxter building. Also, so is another man with him.
Don't question me.
Yeah, don't agree. He tells the goon to stay with the diamond. He's going to follow the girl for some reason. So back outside of the building, the fake Dr. Beard guy and his buddy are like, all right, we're just going to wait here some more. So they do. Back inside, Reed finally shows the diamond they were talking about to the crew, and they're like, oh, wow, this is great.
That is a huge diamond and really weirdly flat on the bottom.
Yeah, it's very, yeah. The diamond's about the size of like a human head. I know because they put it on a pedestal that's right up next to their heads, and they all kind of not only look at it, but lean in a little bit as they look at it. So I definitely know it's the size of a human head. The reason it exists is because whatever they're going to do in space, this diamond is going to displace heat and then just stop them from
Yeah,
blowing
because
up or
when they
something.
tried to absorb the blast from the Colossus, it overheated, the ray and exploded. So
Oh.
this is going to dissipate the prisms or something. they said, and it won't be as
guess.
heat when it absorbs it.
But how come the first time it did that, they absorbed it, and then it exploded to electricity, and the second time they do it, well, I'll just say that it doesn't explode into electricity. Like, it's just so weird to me.
Because the first one was a fake
diamond.
one.
No. Oh, because the second one was fake. That is true. But
The first
the
first
first
time they
one-
had it didn't have anything.
yeah, and then it
And
exploded
then-
into electricity. But the second time they use a fake diamond,
And it just
and it just explodes. Like, it fails in a different way. That's weird to me. Like, apparently, if you focus the ray into nothing,
they didn't think that one through.
it was weird. So yeah, then after that, he shows the diamond. Reed he walks over to a window that looks out, I guess, into space. It seems like, and he talks about how the last time he did this, his friend died, and it was a real big mess. And
I set out to do this with Victor. Just like went over the window.
yeah,
So
but
upset.
if you look out the window, it looks out to like a nebula. Like, I don't know what it's supposed to look out to. And yeah, he's like, but if we succeed, then it'll make everything worthwhile. All right, let's all go to sleep now. And he puts all the laser beams on to stop anybody from going in.
Crack security.
Yeah, crack security, right.
You can see it.
We go to a random warehouse. That's not so random. It turns out the blind lady that we saw before lives there, and the weird sewer dude, like, stalks her. And he's like, soon, my pretty. I want you. Yeah. He's got some other things to do because it's nightfall. So we go back to the Baxter building, and the fake beard doctor's still just chilling. They're still just hanging out in front of that building. I don't know what they're waiting for, but they're waiting. The sewer guy also, he knows every crack and nook of that building, so he sneaks in through a vent into that specific, I guess, spaceship. I presume everything is the spaceship
It's the Baxter building.
that they show. Yeah, but it's all also the spaceship they're going to fly in, I presume.
Oh yeah, it's inside the Baxter building.
Yeah, I presume the spaceship is in. Yeah. So he sneaks in, he jumps all through the lasers and steals
Oh
the
man, that
diamond.
was good stunt work too.
He-
Camera shots, and I love that.
He takes the diamond, and this is my favorite part. Instead of just going, got a diamond, I'll leave now, he goes, well, let me replace it with an equally looking diamond.
exact replica.
Why?
Doom was impressed.
Doom, yeah, because for some reason he had cameras in the building and could see all that.
They showed like perfect like comic shots of him where it was completely dark, but you just saw like a slit of light down his face. It was perfect. I loved it.
No.
I love those shots.
They were really good, but also, like, they did that a lot. Like, when Doom walked in and you just saw a shadow, and you're like, that's probably a good comic shot, but it looks like shit. Like, right now, it looks like shit.
I didn't like when they made it all mysterious in the beginning with those shots, and then they revealed him, and then they made it mysterious again. I was like, well, we already saw
did
his
it.
whole
You
body.
did it. What
We
are
don't
you
need to
doing?
do that anymore.
So, yeah, Doom sees, well, I should say, unnamed masked leader sees that he replaced the diamond. He goes, oh, now the plan will fail, and they'll die in space. Awesome! And he laughs maniacally. Yeah, I don't know why the guy made a replica. I don't know how he had the time or the energy or knew what it looked like beforehand. He figured it out though.
He's the jeweler.
He just smells the shape of jewels too.
He knows where they are.
So yeah, that's Doom's plan is falling greatly. And we
If he was Mole Man, it would make sense because he goes deep into the ground with his underworldly creatures and he digs out all these rocks and he's just some guy with an underworld like.
Some sewer family.
It was like from Demolition Man, that people who lived underground.
Oh, Dennis Leary and his
Yeah,
group
it was
of
the
guys.
Dennis Leary group.
All I want is Taco Bell. Don't we all? Yeah, so then we get a spinning newspaper that says, today, Reed Richards and his rocket takes off. Yeah, right? They take off in space. Everything is going pretty well. Well, kind of well, considering the fact that they're in a spaceship, but still have to constantly wear their spacesuits.
It was like the smartest and well-trained people that we could bring with us on this very important trip. How about these two kids we know?
Yeah.
Because if we don't, they'll never let us live it up.
Well,
They'll just keep
it
bringing
makes
up.
sense. I mean, you can't really make a lot of friends in the 70s, so it's hard. Oh, 94! Fuck!
Damn it.
God damn, internet already existed. All right, well, I don't know that. So, no, but everything's going fine. They're saying, typical space crew stuff, like 10-4, and activate the whatever. The diamond's a fake. Diamond's a fake! Everything explodes. Or maybe Colossus explodes? I don't really know what happens. Like I know the diamond overheats, and oh no.
Well,
But
because
then that's all. I don't know what
the
happens
cosmic
then.
rays from Colossus were outside the ship, so they were absorbing it
Oh.
in, and they had the suits on, so the explosion pressed the rays over and blew off the suits.
I don't know.
Well,
They still
because-
had, just the domes because they still had the others. They still were still wearing them when they
Yeah.
landed on the.
I don't know that one.
Well, was it? Because didn't it start with like Johnny? Didn't Johnny take off his helmet as he came over? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm imagining that. But yeah, I don't really know.
It blew up. It's terrible.
They blow up. It's well, it's not actually that terrible because they don't really blow up so much as a bunch of fireworks go off and bright lights happen and we get a choir.
That was last day of filming after the Ben Grimm suit and everything. Like, oh, we don't have any money left.
We got one spotlight.
We got some sparklers in the back.
That's it.
So everyone scream.
It just the whole crew just go. Oh, the one microphone we have, and we'll, good cut. You get an extra credit. So then, oh no, but actually, yeah, then we get the masked villain is in his palace, and he says, "Goodbye, Dr. Richards." Don't know how he knows.
Was he
it happened.
watching? I don't
know how.
He
was it on TV.
They gave a wide shot, and he was just sitting in his, like,
in his
chair.
palace, yeah.
He was like,
No, you
I
know-
sensed it.
Because he can sniff the jewels. He sniffed the cracking.
What if he can smell crime?
No, that's the jeweler knows that. Why would Doom know that?
Oh, this is Doom. Doom probably has some
Dude,
sort of...
you watched the movie. You don't even know.
I'm sorry. Doom probably has a camera in the fucking spaceship to begin with. Let alone revert back to my statement. He knows they're gonna fucking die because of the gem. That is, what is it? The gem's gonna eventually break in space.
You know what? I really shouldn't argue this because it literally could have been. Who's to say they didn't flash back? Who's to say they didn't flash forward? They just went to Doom. There could have been at any time he says it. Because later on, once they fight, like they leave and he walks in the room and he's like, "You see how easy that was?" Oh, you're gone. So it really that could have happened at any time. He could have just been saying that like seconds before they took off. But yes, we go to a desert, some sort of desert. Ben is walking through like a bunch of flaming wreckage, and he's like, Reed! Johnny! Where's everybody? He finds Reed first, and then Johnny comes running over a hill, and it turns out everybody's fine. Like, they're all, like, there's nothing wrong with anybody, except for Johnny sneezes fire. And then it turns out that they didn't completely forget about Susan and didn't look for her at all. She's just next to them and invisible. Like, that was horrible to me that they're like, Ben finds Reed and he picks him up. He's like, "You're okay?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess we're okay." And then Johnny comes running over the hill. He's like, "This is great. Did you see it?" And then they talk for like a good minute. Like, I don't understand this.
Yeah.
We're all fine.
Yeah,
everyone's okay.
The ship is ruined, though. You're happy about that? Yeah, we're fine, but the ship... By the way, Susan's not here.
Nope. Didn't even say that. Just all of a sudden, it's just like, that was weird. And then Susan's like, "Wow, that was crazy." I'm like, "What the? Who said that? Did you hear that wind?"
He's like, we didn't even bang. I don't even care about her anymore.
No, what a waste.
What a waste of a trip.
Right? So she's invisible. Awful. I guess maybe when I said that there wasn't a lot of special effects, we should point out that there wasn't a lot of good special effects, I guess. Because she's invisible, but she's also very clearly floating off the ground.
Yeah, her legs were not that long.
Yeah.
She was standing on a couple of milk
Oh
crates.
my gosh. She was obvious. Yeah, it was really bad. She goes, "Ah!" I don't know why she freaks out and just loses control of her legs.
Because then she fell off the milk crates.
She almost falls on something sharp. Reed's like, "No!" and catches her with his super stretchy arm and then brings her in for a hug.
And his super, I can make my clothes stretch powers.
Yes, they all have that. They all have that ability. Susan can make all her clothes invisible.
Well, Johnny needed flame retardant clothes.
But he also didn't, because it was fine when he sneezed and when his hand lit on
Because he came out of
fire.
his nose.
And
His hand was on fire. It wasn't his arm.
Well, I'm just, it doesn't spread. Like it's fine. I don't know why he needs flame retardant. It probably would have been fine. It probably would have been fine.
I still have a problem
To
with
counter,
Richard's
when
clothes
he's trying to
stretching.
destroy the wall, though, he just turns his hand. No, damn you.
He just made a Bomberman arm and just... what's his name? Mega Man.
Yeah, maybe. All right. So at night, they decide that we're just going to wait for help and try not to panic, even though they all have brand new powers and might not be found for days. He's like, "All right, just don't panic. We're going to
And
wait."
no one questions Ben Grimm's all right.
Oh yeah, nobody's like, this guy doesn't have anything wrong with him. All right, that's fine.
Still good looking.
Okay,
Sorry.
we all have weird things. He's like, yeah, that's weird, guys.
Let's not jinx it.
It's not. Yeah, let's not talk about it anymore. And then something horrific happens. Like for us as the viewer, not really in the movie.
I died
which is Reed's like, can you keep that fire going? Because we might need it during the night. And Johnny,
Which was a weird scene itself.
yeah, Johnny's like, yeah, I think so. And he makes fire happen in his hand. And then he stares at it.
And then this most dramatic music starts playing. Yes. And then you just hear, ah, 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 ah. And everyone's just looking at him very concerned and scared as he's looking at the fire in his hand.
Yeah.
It was such a great
Puts
scene.
it out real quick. Goes, God help us. It's like, oh my gosh, that
What
was
was
horrifying.
they laughing about?
I don't know.
I had to rewind it. I was like, did I hear laughing? Was that a
was that
musical
Doom?
instrument?
Is that what was that? Yeah.
No.
I don't know. I mean, to be fair,
I thought he was turning into the Phoenix.
to be fair, if that'd be great. To be fair, if I was Johnny Storm, I think I would have a bit of a mental breakdown because I can turn myself into fire, and I'm instantly what you think is like, how do I use this for good? How do I set people on fire in the name of the law? Like, what do I do?
Burn slowly for the name of justice.
Yeah, like you can't, like, what, like, just, when you team up with Smokey the Bear and, like, hope for the best? Like, there's no way.
No, he's the last person you would have.
I know. Like,
He would put
got-
you out
have-
all the time.
You've got nothing. You can't even, like, team up with firefighters and be like, well, fire safety. You start them! It's all you!
Only you, Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
Can prevent yourself.
So, yeah, we go back to the Doom Lair, and,
And he's talking to the future guys from Bill and Ted's Excellent Journey.
yes. Exactly. That's exactly who he's talking to. And he's yelling at them because the Fantastic Four is still alive. I don't know why he knows that, but he does. He knows all about them.
We heard
everything they
through
do.
the government tap.
Yeah, I don't know how they figured it, but you have to go find them now. And then, we get a spinning newspaper that says Reed Richards and crew is dead. We're not looking for them, they're dead.
Cover story.
Yeah, so I don't know why. Yeah, I hope it's a cover story, because if not, we go to a warehouse, and some guy, or excuse me, before the guy, was just, I love this actually. We go to the warehouse, and the blind lady, she's just touching her own face, like going, Ben, just
Was she
touching
saying-
her
was
own
she saying
face.
Ben?
I'm pretty sure she was. I'm almost positive.
Like
she-
I said, they never. She doesn't know his name. They didn't exchange unless she crazy stalker. Like I gotta find out who that guy
Well,
was.
she must. Well, but anyway, then she has to make a statue for the dead astronauts. I love this because I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the guy comes in with the delivery guy comes in and gives it to her.
Yeah.
And then the blind lady looks right at him, right the fuck at him, right in his eyes.
I didn't notice that.
Oh, she looks right.
I kept
at
thinking at it in the back of my head. I was like, she's got to be a terrible actress. She's got to do something where she forgets she's blind.
Yeah, and this,
I knew there was got to
it's
be
dark,
a scene.
so it's kind of hard to notice. But she you see the whites of her eyes. Like she looks right at him. Yeah. So she's gonna make the statues for all the dead astronauts. We go to the sewers, and the guy who, at this point, I don't know his name, so I'm just calling him the Sewer King. The Sewer King is like, listen, my outcasts, I don't ever ask anything from you guys, and I give you a lot, so now I need you to go kidnap this woman to be my queen. And they're like, queen, 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 and they just walk
Mindless.
off. Yeah, they walk right off, and they go and steal her. And, again, this movie is 1994. Batman Returns came out in 1992. So the Penguin and his whole group of clown misfits, that's already happened.
Yeah, reminiscent of
That's
it.
exactly like this. I look at this and I go, this is like steampunk Penguin. This guy. We go back to the warehouse and the blind lady starts freaking out because she picks up the name of the dead astronaut. Luckily, it's in Braille. I mean, I guess you'd have to know what you're doing if you're sending to a blind lady. But she
I don't
reads
know
it.
because I saw Braille in the top half and she was touching the bottom half of that fortune cookie fortune. So I
It
don't
was a
know. She
fortune
wasn't.
cookie.
She wasn't really touching the top part.
Yeah, and then she goes, Ben Grimm, no! Or excuse me, actually she goes, Benjamin Grimm.
Benjamin.
She's
I
like,
don't. How does she?
"No,
Oh, God.
No, you can't be dead. You can't be. And she runs off away into the arms of a waiting Sewer King thug. And he's like, bah!
Because a bunch of mutant sewer people snuck up on a blind girl.
Yes.
A bunch of them.
Well, to be
snuck
fair-
in there like ninjas.
To be fair, she was very preoccupied with finding out the man she's horribly obsessed with just died.
Horribly obsessed.
Oh,
with.
that's why I said horribly. Yeah, horribly obsessed with. So she runs into their arms and she's like, "No, who are you people? Who are you people?"
Can you catfish a blind woman?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You can do that. How?
I don't know.
Why do you bring that up? You feel like you.
Well, because he's all the thing after. So
Yeah.
she was gonna get catfished, but like she can't see. Still the same person. Because that's what it is. You're still the same person. You just lied about what you looked like.
I don't know.
I guess in the sense of catfishing a blind person, because they would have to go more in the sense of your voice. You can always do different accents.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So you lie about being Australian or something?
Exactly. Exactly.
Terrible. I don't know if I love you. You American.
All right. So
I'm sorry.
the sewer, the sewer king's clown henchmen spray her in the face with some stuff, and she gets knocked out, and they take her away.
Very cliche.
Yes. Yeah. We go back to the desert, and the military shows up, and they're like, "We're here to debrief you, Fantastic Four." But for some reason, Ben Grimm has changed in his sleep, and now he's some giant rock thing, and he looks into a mirror, and he screams.
Oh God, shoot it! Yeah, they all wanted to shoot
They
him.
all wanted to shoot immediately. Luckily, Reed was like, "No, he's with me," and they're like, "All right, I guess that's okay."
I don't think he knew he was with him yet.
No, yeah, he just didn't want him to die, I guess. Even though technically, if they shot at him, the bullets would have bounced off and probably killed all of them.
He's the smart one.
All right, there you go. Reed knows.
But now, knowing what we know, does Doom have his own military group then?
This is the part that I don't understand.
He's the monarch of his whole nation.
So the whole, like,
So then this takes place on his country then?
Oh no, they go pick him up.
yeah, but, like, would they drive for, like, 10 years? Like, they had to crash in a Latveria desert, or close to Latveria.
Or they had a big military like plane that could drop off Humvees and
That they
people
just didn't
and
show, and,
low budget.
I get, yeah, but they could have, like, did a little, like, a map thing, and a...
They could have spent less on Ben Grimm's costume.
I don't think they could have. I think they could have spent more on it, to be honest with you. All right, so they show up. They take the Fantastic Four. Let's go. We're gonna go get help. I don't think it's that bad. Right here, I have in my notes written the Thing's costume is really good looking. I think it's pretty good. I don't know. Then again, I think it's really good for the 70s. It's not. It's 1994. So
He looked like an orange monkey from the Planet of the Apes. I didn't like it. 94.
Turtles already came out.
Aliens already came
They're
out.
like, this is no money. But that's what they keep it for $1 million. Like it could have been a lot worse. I think it could have been a lot worse. All right, so we go to what I presume is a doctor's office, and a doctor gives them a very snarky examination to each member.
Favorite scene in the whole movie.
Yeah?
I love this scene.
I'm glad you do, because I know for a fact it repeats in every other Fantastic Four film. This same scene happens in every other Fantastic Four film.
It's a good scene to have. It's hilarious.
Yeah, Ben, what's the matter? Oh, sit down. And he crushes a metal stool. Johnny, what's wrong with you? I don't know. I just think of fire and then flame on. Oh my God, my hands on fire! Flame off! Flame off!
That was terrible. I hated that scene.
I thought you said it was a good scene. What happened?
No, as a whole.
Susan, what's the matter with you, Susan? Do you flame? No, I just kind of, I get, boop, disappears. He's like, where'd you go? She's like, I'm behind you for some reason. And he stabs
I'm fine now.
he stabs himself with the needle. And then he's like standing far away from Reed. He's like, just take your own damn blood. And he's like, okay. And he stretches across and grabs a
And
needle.
the doctor was like, how the hell did you stretch your shirt like that?
Yeah.
Because how do you do that? Just make clothes stretch.
Yeah, whatever. We go to Doomslayer, because we don't know yet that this is the same place. The doctor's office is Doomslayer. I don't know that.
I was
until,
confused
the
about
very,
that.
the whole time. Like, I think it isn't like until. I think it's not until they escape and go back. I go, oh, that's all the same place.
They returned. They were there before.
Yeah, the whole time I go, so Doom infiltrated the the U.S. military. He's got like 10 guards infiltrating. Really? Doom?
That's Latveria.
No, yeah, I don't. Yeah, it like 6 pages later we figure out. Oh, this is saying. Oh, it's one separate sides of the same wall. So yeah, Doom is like, oh, we don't really know it's Doom yet. It's just a, nameless masked villain. And the doctor that we just saw, he's like, oh, these powers are great. We can use them for great things. And he's like, yeah, but what if we just put them all into one guy? And the doctor's like, oh,
My God.
he'd be ridiculous. And he's like, yeah, I would. Oh, but now I have to go see the jeweler because I need that diamond. And then he goes away. We go to the sewer. And the fake beard guy. And the Bill and Ted, his partner, fake. Like, all those characters into one now. They're sneaking around the sewers to public domain music. Like, I've heard that song before that they sneak around to. I couldn't sing it to you right now, but I've heard that song. It's like doom, 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 doom.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I recognized it.
Yeah,
A lot of the songs were very
old, like, they have to be public
cliche,
domain.
yeah.
They have to be all free, like, music. But the sewer gang, they catch
in
him.
80s movies. Too.
Yeah.
It was 94.
That's why I said it has to all be, like, free at that point. So yeah, they're sneaking around in the sewer, but the sewer gang, the steampunk penguin gang catches them, and then they take him to their sewer king. We go back to the doctor's office, which is really Latveria, secretly. We don't know that yet, but Johnny's getting antsy, as he should be, and Ben is like, I just want a cure. And Reed's like, well, why aren't they letting us help ourselves? But, it's got to be all for one, otherwise we don't do it. And Ben's like, all right, let's escape. What are we doing?
His voice was so ridiculous.
Yeah, I think I'm doing a better Ben Grimm than the movie was, but...
It sounded like Patrick Starr at some point.
Oh, then I'm doing a very good movie version. How come we don't go over here, guys?
That's what he sounded like.
Oh, SpongeBob! Dr. Doom!
So, in the sewer, the jeweler's like, no, I'm not giving you your guys the diamond. It's my diamond. It belongs to my queen. And they're like, well, we have guns. And the sewer gang's like, yeah, we also have guns. So stop that. And they're like, so get out of here, you schmucks. And they kick him out. Like, that's it. They kick him out. And then the goon, the Latveria goons, they call Dr. Doom. And he's like, look, this is what happened. And he's like, stay there. I'll be there in 24 hours. Will you move? He's like, I'll be there tomorrow night. And I'm like, really? Like,
It takes a while.
how far are you? Yeah. For the
70s,
70s, yes. We go back to the doctor's office.
Which another possibility is that he might be in a different country if it's taking him a day to travel to wherever they are.
No, that's where. Yeah, Latveria is in Europe.
Yeah, Latveria is somewhere. It's like 30 square miles. It's like nothing.
In between Europe and Asia.
Oh, right on like the Kremlin border. Yeah,
They belong to themselves. It's not a real place, is it, Latveria?
I don't think so.
I think it's a fictional place.
It could be. It could be a real place. It might be now. Who knows? If only we had more money to do research. That low budget really killing us. So back in the doctor's office, I want to point out, 2 people in hazmat suits come in. I'm positive 2 people in hazmat suits
there
come
was
in.
3.
After they beat him up, there's 3.
No, I remember 3 of them.
Oh, I was positive there was 2.
There was a shot over their heads. that there
No,
was 3
I'm
of them.
pretty sure there was 2. All right, whatever. They beat him up. They take their hazmat suits. I don't know why now they're using hazmat suits. The doctor already met with all of them. He's got whatever disease they have.
Well, those were union workers. They weren't full.
Oh, they had rights. Those had rights. So yeah, they go ahead and they sneak around. Ben stays behind. Susan goes and turns invisible, goes and punches a guard. I was like, why didn't Reed do that? But then I realized, budget constraints, they couldn't make a half fist go and punch him in the face. Like, if I had the money, that scene definitely would have been Reed stretching and punching that guard in the face.
They never did anything
But-
creative with Reed.
right?
He just punched people from far away or kicked something far away.
Oh, that's the worst. I read that technically he didn't punch anybody because the way the system works was that he had his arm strapped to his side and there was a big plaster spring thing
goodness gracious.
taped to his
really?
shoulder. Yeah, so he would just kind of roll his shoulder and the
Roll his
thing would
body.
shoot out. Yeah. So that's why all his punches kind of look like, ugh.
Terrible.
Yeah. So they go in and they're like, what language is this? And he's like, I don't know what language this is. I've never seen this before in my life. And Johnny's like banging on buttons. He's like, hey, look, a door opened. And then an alarm sound. And my favorite part happens, which is Ben's like, oh, gotta go, and just bursts through the door. I love when people have no regard for boundaries like that. When they're just like, well, just fuck it. I'm just gonna go straight line, go. Right through the door.
Which why didn't he just do that from the beginning? If he knew he can just go right through the
So the alarms would go off, and
Yeah.
they wanted to go more covert.
Yeah, they didn't want to draw
quiet.
attention.
What made him decide?
Because the alarm went off, yeah. They had to get out of there now.
The guy that Susan punched, he got up and he
Yeah,
pushed it on the
he hit
wall.
the little,
he pushed a button.
in the same room as them, weren't they? Like, why didn't they notice that?
No, because they walked out of that room by that.
Yeah, because they just needed to get by him.
Okay, all right. So they go to escape, but don't. They just go to a laser room instead, and they're kind of like looking around and going, "What is this thing?" And then the masked villain goes up and he's like, "You can call me Doom," and he's like, "Now go back to your cells and you can leave when I'm done with you guys." And they're like, "No, we're just gonna leave." And you're like, oh, well, I won't dirty my hands with this. Goons attack them. And then this is the first big fight scene.
With the Doom bots.
Those were supposed to be bots? Because those were people
I don't-
dressed like Doom.
But that's what I didn't understand. If that was low budget bots, because they painted their face silver.
Oh, I just thought they were masks. I thought they were
Yeah,
bad
I-
masks.
No, it looked like they painted their faces silver and then put Men in Black sunglasses on
Yeah,
them
yeah. Oh.
with the hood. They looked exactly like Doom bots, except they look like people.
Yeah, no, they look like human beings. Yeah, what's the problem? So,
That's
yeah.
usually what he has. Little bots that look like him.
Bots, yeah, right? So, this is it. It's clobbering time.
He said it. I was
says it,
pumped.
yes.
In his Ray Romano's brother's voice.
All the bullets bounce off him. Like you said, Johnny, he goes all Mega Man, tries to burn a hole through the wall.
Yep, flame on.
Susan turns invisible, ducks, makes two guards shoot each other. Those guards would have died anyway.
No, like little holes in their chest or something that burst out blood or anything. They just start compulsing.
Yeah.
No, like rips in their shirt or anything that show like bullet holes.
Maybe they.
No, they did show the close in.
No,
No.
They had like these like 4 or 3 buttons going up and down their shirt on one side, but nothing like.
Or maybe then it was that I
Yeah,
missed.
it was terrible.
This is when the Star Wars music starts too. When you
Again, the
hear-
same.
So yeah, Ben punches everybody in the face. Reed trips a bunch of people to unconsciousness, I guess. Ben comes over. He's like, "You're taking too long with the fire." Just bursts through the wall.
I like that scene.
Yeah, and then that's it. Oh, the end is my favorite when they're
I
gone.
loved it.
And Dune comes in. He's like, "You see now, Reed, how easy." Huh.
Everyone's
Oh. Oh, all right. Huh.
everyone's gone and dead, which
Yeah.
didn't make any sense because as they ran out through that little hole in the wall, you saw someone was shooting after them, and
Yes,
they
I
ricocheted
remember
off.
that.
And then Doom walked in and was like, "Oh, everyone's dead and beaten up." But then who was shooting that whole time?
Yeah.
Must have just been Ricochet the whole
Yeah,
time.
no, thank you for bringing that up because when they showed that, I thought like one of them was gonna get shot and then when one of them did, I was like, then why just show that one shooter by himself?
Yeah.
If he's not gonna do anything but shoot the wall after they run out of the wall.
They just kept wanting to show you every time someone like shot a gun, so it didn't just look like it was coming from nowhere. So it just really didn't get over though.
Kind of like how Reed stretching his legs so all of them tripped over to get over.
I hate it. I hate it.
So they go back to the Baxter building and Reed is doing some blood science. Susan tries to hit on Reed, but she fails. She's like, why am I always so shy? Susan, what did you say? Oh, yeah, it's just like I'm shy. This is a problem I have. It's not. That's it. You're shy. So you vanish. And Johnny, you have a temper. Kind of like you're fiery. That's why I have fire. Right. And Reed, I always stretch myself too thin, and that's why I stretch. Ben, you always rely on your strength when your mind's your real strength.
I thought that was good. I like that.
I didn't know why I was like, why did you kind of insulted Ben at the end, I felt like. He always relies on his strength when your mind's your real strength. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought
Yeah, I kind of.
I thought he was like digging at him, man.
Exactly.
No,
yeah.
he took it as that. He
well,
was like,
I don't blame him.
it wasn't
I
necessary.
wasn't.
Like, he added unnecessary information.
No,
it was not.
But the whole point was that he was saying that all their flaws are actually their strengths. So he
like-
was pointing out
But
his
still,
flaw.
It's like being like, listen, you're really good at this, But this other thing that you're neglecting, asshole, is what you're even better at.
Yeah. Exactly. He's helping him. He's telling him.
I don't know. I still would have taken it the wrong way.
I don't know. I see what he was doing.
All right.
Yeah, fuck Reed. I see what he was
I've
doing.
always agreed with Reed.
Yeah, well, yeah, it seems that their powers are their flaws, but their flaws are their real strengths, and that's why they're their powers now. Susan points out that Ben's change is physical and he can't hide it, and Ben's like, yeah! Thanks for pointing it out, you dicks! I'm gonna go deal with that now, and he runs out into the streets.
He goes Frankenstein on some
He
strangers.
goes total. Yeah. First off, he just runs through the city, only wearing pants, no shirt, no shoes, nothing. Just like there's these two ladies, just like they have their backs to him. They're just talking to each
alone in
other.
the corner.
Yeah, and he's like,
Walks
walks up with his arms wide out, and they're like, oh God, oh run.
Oh no!
Yeah,
he gets so
cries.
sad.
He cries.
Like, what do you think was gonna happen?
Yeah, then he goes to.
I used to be able to go up to people shirtless and they loved me. My
Exactly.
life is ruined.
He figured he was gonna get blowies.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Raymond.
No, none of that. He goes into a back alley to hide under a blanket, and I was upset that he hid under a blanket and we didn't get him in a fedora and the
And a
trench
trench
coat.
coat,
yeah.
Oh, come on!
That's his classic.
That's classic. No, we didn't get that shit. He's hiding under some alley, and some dick pizza clerk was like, "Hey, get out of here, buddy! I don't want to have to give you any trouble." And he's like, "Leave me alone." He's like, "I'm gonna beat up you, homeless man." And then he sees how ugly he is. He's like, "What the hell are you?" Ah! And runs like towards him to go back inside the pizza shop. It was
That
so
guy
bad.
felt powerless at his job, and
Oh,
he just wanted to
man.
feel strong.
Yeah,
He
and
was
it's
like,
like it backfired
"Oh,
hard.
this bum is weak. I
This
got
bum,
him."
I'm gonna rape this bum.
What kind of thing are you?
Thing you freak, and runs away. Back in the Baxter building. Well, actually, I just want to point out that after he sees his face and he runs, then Ben runs away too. So we don't know where Ben is really. Then back in the Baxter building, Susan has new costumes, big blue spandex with fours on them because they're the Fantastic Four. Remember? I'm not being facetious. She says that. She goes, "Remember, Fantastic Four."
What purpose do they serve as wearing a uniform?
I don't know. There's no reason for it yet.
So everyone knows they have powers.
There's no. There's zero reason
don't
for
understand.
it. They're not crime. They haven't stopped a single human
Did
being.
they tell everyone that they're alive and back? And they told the
I don't
world
know.
that they're because the world thinks they're dead.
Yeah. That girl still thinks. Yeah, she's still making those statues.
This movie's so bad.
Well, no, she can't be making the statue. She's now with the mold people.
Yeah, but I'm saying like she's like in her mind, she still has to go back and make a statue. Like, that guy's still dead.
Sure.
I have to honor Benjamin.
Yeah, a name I know somehow.
Don't even know him, but
I
I
don't
love
know,
him.
yeah, I love him.
I love him.
We go in the sewer. Well, kinda. We go into some weird, like, train yard or something like that. And Ben's warming himself around fire. And the sewer gang's like, "Oh, come, we can take care of you. We'll take care of you." And then we see a working TV. Because, whenever there's a hobo camp, there's always some black and white TV.
where'd they get that?
There's always one networks.
In
And
the
it's always,
70s?
yeah, it's always 90s. 1994. That's why it wasn't black and white. It was in color. Turns out that blind lady is missing. Whatever. I think they say her name, but I don't think we should know her name. Like, I don't know how we know that it's the blind lady that's missing, but that's what
They never
the
said her
report's
name
for.
until she said it at the
Right?
end.
I don't know how we're supposed to know any of these people. So we go into the sewer, and the blind lady's like, "Listen, Sewer King, I will never learn to be your king. Never, ever, ever." And then the gang
Do you want to die?
Yeah, right?
You're bad at being a
Yeah,
hostage.
I know. You're just, wow. Jeez, all right. Dump her in the pit. The gang comes over and tells the king that we found a new member, and you have to see him. And he's like, "Oh my God, you're the greatest. Give him whatever he wants. Whatever he wants, give it to him. You're a king now.
The pain.
You're the tastemaker." Doom tells a scientist, I don't know why, we go to Doom for some reason. He's like, "Listen, scientist, I'm gonna leave, but when I get back, I want that laser done. Okay? See ya."
Oh, and he's doing it from that Mr. Claw from Inspector Gadget
Right?
style when he's looking into the thing.
Oh, that goes further at the end when he actually has claws too.
Oh, yeah, he Wolverines his fingers.
He really is Claw from Inspector Gadget. That's terrible.
I got these old ink pens at the end of my fingers. Calligraphy pens.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah, we go back to the Baxter building, and Johnny and Susan remind Reed that, like, hey, the only person who knows anything about harnessing the Colossus is your dead friend Richard. Or, I mean, your dead friend Reed. Your dead friend Victor. That's his name. It's one of the... Listen, I only heard his name once, so I don't really know what it is yet. Your dead friend Victor. And Reed's like, oh, that's right. He is the only one that knows about it. And he starts running around and cross-referencing notes.
Then he remembers because he was writing down the notes he saw on the computer in that other scene when they were going through the labs, and he was like, I've seen this before, and then he took a piece of paper and started writing it down, and that's why he asked where his lab coat was, because he put it in that pocket.
Okay, I wasn't sure where he got those notes from. Okay, yeah, when he couldn't understand the language, he couldn't understand the numbers.
But then he remembered, he looked back
into
the file.
History, yeah.
He looked back at the schematics that they were passing back into the class.
Victor's alive!
Because it's Slatvarian. I know
Doom
things.
burst into the sewer scene. They do that sometimes. They cut like, Victor's alive. Here I am, Doom.
I just gotta say, this is the best representation of Doom of any movie they had.
I thought Doom was really good.
Of any villain or hero of any movie, he looked spot on. Spot on.
He looked real good. I
loved
have
it.
no doubt in my mind that the actor was wearing a real suit of armor.
Oh yeah,
Like,
on his arms
Really made it was fantastic.
The only bad part is I feel like on faraway shots they used like dubbed over voice, but when they were like doing close up shots, they used the actor's voice in the mask. So it was muffled a lot of times. I couldn't understand what he was saying.
Like the whole time, I just kept thinking back to fucking Lord Helmet and Spaceballs.
Exactly.
You see those stars?
That's what he sounded like.
I can't breathe in this thing.
What is he? I can't understand what he's saying. Dub it over.
Yeah, that was awful. So Doom bursts in and just kills all the sewer gang, and
They just keep shooting him. They think it's gonna work.
Yeah, they unload everything they have on him.
I didn't know he had Doombots the first time I watched it. I thought they were just shooting him, and it was just deflecting off and killing each person one by one.
Yeah, he brought some Doombots with him. Yeah, some of his Doom crew. The sewer gang is dead. That's absolutely dead. The jeweler, whose name I only remember because Doom says it in this scene. In my head, he's still the sewer king.
When he first looked him, when he was sneaking in to get the diamond, he looked him up on a little computer as soon as he saw his face, and it said, it said the jeweler.
Oh, he looked him over the internet.
He had, I'm sure, like, Doom's personal Latvian
Internet.
criminal file.
It's the internet. It's the Latvian internet. So the jeweler runs over and he's like, you touch the jewel and I'll shoot this lady. And Doom's like, I
love that scene.
don't care. Go ahead.
He got up
Shoot
close
her in
and
the
looked at
face.
her. Wait, should I care?
Do I know you?
I don't know this person.
I don't know. Yeah, go for it.
Please, don't let me hold you back.
Yeah, I don't
that was my favorite line. Please, don't let me hold you back.
Don't let me hold you
back. He was so confused.
I will admit, there were a lot of times in this movie that I laughed.
Yeah.
I was like, that was good.
Like, when, he left his queen, and she was like, I'm never gonna learn to be your queen. And he was like, all right, you watch her for me. And he left, and he started smelling her. And he walks up to him, and he, with both hands closed, he goes, pick one. And he looks at him and picks the one on the left and smacks him in the face. And he says, I said watch her, not smell her. And I just thought that was hilarious.
Everything.
Pick a hand. And he smacks the one he picks.
Yes. There's one that I laughed, like, way after the line was over. I was like, that was the best. That was the best fucking line. And I'll mention whenever it comes up, but. So. Yeah, the jeweler he's gonna shoot the lady. Doom's like, yeah, don't care, go for it. And Doom's like, go for it. Ben shows up, Ben Grimm, and he's like, let her go. And Doom's like, yeah, let her go. And then he takes her. And Ben's like, it's clobbering time.
Again.
And she's like, no, Ben, I love you. And he's like, oh, she loves me. And turns back to human for some reason.
It doesn't work like that. I will tell you, it doesn't.
Come on.
His powers never work like that.
Really? Oh my god.
I didn't understand how that worked.
I don't know. I just thought that was another cheesy thing too, where it's like, oh, he feels the love. No longer a rock thing.
Then
it's not very hard.
Possibly my favorite part of the how do your fucking powers work of this whole movie is Ben runs outside and just into the sky until he hulks out and turns back into the thing. Yeah, it was
Why
insane.
he couldn't do that right in there?
I don't know. And then he runs away. He doesn't go back into the building. He runs away. He goes away.
Well, because he's being shot at. That's why he runs out of the building.
But now he's the thing again, and he bullets deflect off him, and he can go back inside.
Because maybe he thinks that if he goes back in there and he sees her, oh shit, I'm gonna get all soft all over again.
Maybe.
My pants are all sticky. Fuck, I gotta run out. Give me a moment.
His little blue tighty whities.
So we go back to the Baxter building, and Doom Skypes the Fantastic Four. He shows them the power of the laser that he saw before. That's, I don't know what he does. Like, he
Just
shows
like
how
in the-
powerful it is. But
Just like in the beginning, those
think
cheap shots.
he just destroys watermelons? Like, what?
Those red shots of explosions
Yeah.
and trees flying in the wind.
Yeah, like, I don't know what it was. I have no idea what he destroyed, but he
Scene
destroyed
from
something.
Gallagher at the beach.
And it's like in a mild windstorm. Reed says that no one has to get involved because it was all his idea. But they're like, no, I'm going to get involved because he's got my girlfriend and I love you and I got to watch out for my sister because we're the Fantastic Four.
Terrible.
Yeah. Oh, actually, the direct line is he goes, oh, come on. I mean, we are the Fantastic Four.
Just like my mom said.
Yeah. I just want to point out that for a movie that is technically about space radiation mutations and revenge, there's a lot of love stories going on in this movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love stories going on. So we jump back to Doom's lair, and they all show up to get the laser, but they get caught in like these tractor beam containment cells that kind of look a little Star Trek-y.
And they're kind of fixed like in 4 spots. And he's like, ah, you went in exactly the 4 spots I thought you were going to go into. It was great. I got you all. My goodness.
I was wondering that too. How he happened to luck out on that.
I
one.
knew all you were going to stand there.
That's not even the worst. Okay, it's gonna keep you concealed, but there's gonna be about a 2-inch window at the very bottom. None of you will be able to use that.
Yeah, I don't know what that, but actually I was one way that this, when they're sneaking in, this is the comedy that I was like, that was the best I've ever heard, which is they're sneaking in, and Johnny's like, wasn't that a little too easy? And Ben's like, yeah, I love walking into a trap, don't you? And Reed goes, I don't know, I've never done it before.
How did I not hear that?
I fucking love that.
that is
He
a
looks
good
right
one.
back. Like,
I do
I don't
remember
know.
that,
I've never
yeah.
done it.
I remember
It's
that
like,
now.
what? That's, oh, come on. That's good stuff. So, but, yeah, they get trapped in the beam, and he's like, oh, you did everything to me. And he's like, listen, Victor, it's not like that. He's like, Victor? Oh, that's an old name. My name is Dr. Doom. And I love it. He goes, you turned me into this, Reed. Look at me. And he just puts his arms to the
I
side.
loved all these ballerina, like, Hulk Hogan,
Shakespeare,
8x10, like, things he was doing with his arms all the time. Oh, it was good.
That's
He was
what-
perfect. He looked like he was, like, just moving into, like, comic poses that they would draw.
Right? Like, oh, it was really weird, yeah. Seeing that, like, instead of going from panel to panel, the movement, you go, wow, comics are weird, huh? Comics are fucking weird,
If
huh?
you look at old comics and the positions they were in and just try to, like, visually see person move like that, that's basically what they look like in that scene. That's why they always say, Doom, he's just mentally unstable. If you ever just have a conversation with him, he's just, his arms are all over the place.
He's a little out there, huh?
Flailing.
Yeah, he says, you turned me into this, and then just puts his arm to the side. I thought he was going to take his mask off and go, look what you did. No, he's like, look at me. I think it's better. I don't know why he's complaining about it, but whatever. Then Doom's like, I'm going to take your powers and give them all to me, and then I'm going to kill this blind lady over here. Then he's like, all right, I love this. He starts to draw everyone's powers away, but only Susan starts to go,
No! Susan's screaming in pain. They never show Ben. He's just like shuffling back and forth.
They show Ben. He's just going.
They
like,
they
just
show
shaking.
Johnny, who looks like he's like in jail
he's
taking it.
convulsing. He's like.
And Richards is looking around with the most confused look, like this is hurting
He
you all.
almost looks disappointed. Like
This is
sons of bitches.
this is hurting you guys.
This is really what this scene is right now. Like you, goddamn assholes.
This was like the worst acting he did in the entire movie.
No, yeah, he just stands there and just kind of, like
Well, what do
he
you-
really looks disappointed.
Well, what do you expect with the reaction fucking Two's giving? That's such a fucking unnecessary reaction.
How am I supposed to act next to this?
Yeah, what do I?
We're using that take.
Seriously, like,
This was the point in the movie where the actor Alex Hyde White was like, "Oh, they're not gonna release this, huh? This is the like he figured it out. He was like,
I'm done.
oh, I get it. I wouldn't be surprised if the other guy, Michael Bailey Smith, figured it out before he was like, you're not gonna release this, are you? They're like, no. He's like, just put somebody else in the thing costume. I'm done. I'm walking away. That's it. I'm walking away. So yeah, Johnny's convulsing. Ben is stone-faced. Reed somehow manages to stick his foot. Like, I would have bought it if they had enough CGI to be like, look, then he makes his foot paper thin and go. But no, he just shoves his real foot under it and then stretches his ankle a little bit, and then his whole leg's under it for some reason.
And he just stretches.
And he just stretches his leg out and
Stretch
kicks the
leg strong.
machine. For some reason, they didn't twist down the knob tight enough, and the machine just starts spinning around out of control. Just woo, 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 woo. Out of control. Lasers go everywhere. He's like, what? No! For some reason, that also releases the tractor beams. So they're free now. The best line, I think, in the whole film, which is you get close up to Thing's face, and he goes, it's clobbering time for real!
For real, son. That was great.
Everyone fights the Doom bots. Doom hits the laser beam and he fires it, and but you know, that's it. Actually, I kind of skipped it, but I want to point out that for some reason, Susan learns that if she's shy enough, she can make a force in front of her and have a nice force field that pushes
Out of
people
nowhere,
away.
no explanation.
Oh, okay, fine, why not? It's because she thought about it. She's like, well, if I'm shy, I turn invisible because I don't want anybody to see me, but if I have boundary issues, get away.
How did I not pick up on that?
Isn't that right? Come on. So yeah, Doom hits the laser, but and Reed's like, no, I can't stop it for some reason. And Johnny's like, oh, this is just like that video game we played when we were kids. I always wanted to stop it. Flame on! And he chases the
Rocket
laser.
ships out of
Yeah,
there.
he chases the laser.
Terrific CGI.
And we go back to Ben, and he punches a guard in the face, and he's like, "Oh, hey, blind lady, I'm Benjamin Grimm," and she's like, "I'm Alicia Masters," and I'm like, oh, "That's really her name, all right."
Yep. She's a real person in the comics.
They
have an on again, off again.
Yeah,
she
yeah.
is Ben Grimm's Lois Lane and
Is she
Mary
a white
Jane
lady?
Watson.
Is she a white lady in the comics?
Yes.
All right.
What are you kidding me? They were all made in the 60s. Everyone's white.
I'm just man.
I think the only person who's black was maybe
I
like
thought
the
it maybe-
mail keeper or the doorman at the back civil.
Great. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Passed.
Just quoting.
So yeah, she touches his face, and she's still happy to meet him. Like there's no question of like, hey, didn't you used to have like, how come you have the texture of a mountain? Like, what's up with your skin? Like, you used to be human, and now you feel like the inside of a terrarium. What's going on here?
I could tell how sincere he was when he apologized. I love you.
So that's good. Yeah. Good enough, I guess. So we go to Reed, and Reed confronts Victor. And Doom's like, you know what? Yes, everything else has failed. I might as well kill you. That makes sense. And he takes out his claws for some reason that he has.
Cat claws.
And then he tries to kill Reed. I want to stop right here before we go any further. At what point in the history of the comics does Doom get electricity powers? Never? Did I make that up?
Electricity powers? He
Yeah.
doesn't have. He knows dark black magic, and he's a sorceress.
Okay.
So he can do
I
things
think
like
it's
that.
Sorcerer. Sorceress is a female, I believe.
He knows sorcery?
Okay, that's fine. he's a sorcerer.
Yes, sorcerer.
So when does he learn the black magic?
Oh, you want to know what happens with Doom?
I want to know why he doesn't have... I want to know why when the leader of the Fantastic Four and his main arch villain, the main nemesis of this film, start to fight, he gets punched in the face once for Reed. Doom gets punched one more in the face for all of his friends, and then Doom gets punched a third time in the face for being a jerk and falls off a ledge. That he's supposed to be the main villain, and he gets taken out literally in 3 punches.
Right in the back of a garbage truck.
I can't even tell you how often this film I look at it and I go, Ninja Turtles. This is clearly from Ninja
Yep.
Turtles. Every third thing in this film is from Ninja
He's a
Turtles.
big bad guy, and it doesn't really take that much to beat him.
Like
Once you
3
get there.
kicks.
Which
Just like, I mean, if you think about it, the ultimate hero villain is Mario and Bowser, and what happens? You just get up to him, jump on his head 3 times, you beat him. That's all it is. That's 3 punches, and he fell over.
But well, maybe in the writing process they were thinking of maybe franchising it, Because then at the end, because we're almost there, he has that whole contemplation with Reed where he's like, oh, you should have done it, or you should have killed me when you had the chance, or gotten rid of me. And he let goes himself, I guess. So then he
I don't know,
falls.
because he catches himself, and then he's like, Reed, help me, and Reed helps him, and he's like, you're a weak dummy, why would you help me? I'm gonna do nothing but try to kill you after you save me. And then, like, the glove just falls off his arm?
His gauntlet, like, breaks
Yeah.
off from his arm.
So then, is he still alive? Because then the next scene you see the gauntlet still moving.
Or is he a robot?
I smell a sequel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe they were trying to franchise.
They were
it?
setting it up. Yeah, Doom never dies. He's one of those guys who, like Magneto, and they're just always going to be alive at the end.
Yeah. I mean, technically he didn't die. He fell into the clouds below because they were so high up.
Yeah, where were they?
There were clouds.
Doom's castle in Latveria? Yeah, that is high up. So
They fell,
he fell into the
what
forest.
seemed to be a river covered
A
by
moat.
clouds. Probably a moat. That makes sense. A moat does make sense.
He likes very old age stuff.
you don't have to justify it, son. Moat's a badass.
This is a castle. How do you not have a moat?
So, at this point in time, Doom's just a burnt dick. He doesn't have any powers. He's just somebody who's upset.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing for their version of Doom, but he just got burnt, and now he's in a suit and runs a country. He doesn't have any powers.
When I asked you what Doom's powers was, you asked me, oh, you want to know about Doom? And I saw you flick your notes. So whatever you got for Doom,
well, what happened was...
tell me all about Doom, because I want to know why he
grew up-
has electricity powers, but apparently he's a sorcerer and can do other things, and just doesn't, I guess?
He grew up with his gypsy father, who was a gypsy healer
Okay.
in another country, most likely Latveria, which he eventually
Okay.
took over. Once his father died...
I assume gypsy in this time frame just means somebody who isn't from their home country, because technically gypsy means Egyptian.
I guess, yeah.
I doubt he's
not,
Egyptian.
He's not Egyptian.
I assume this
no.
is the old racist term of he's just a wanderer.
Like from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like that kinda-
She was dark, so I don't know.
Well, anyway. Once he died, he found a secret box. His mother's hidden box.
I love it already.
Box, which had magic potions
Oh, baby.
and strange scientific secrets.
Why not both?
And he was like, how did I not know this whole time? My mother's a witch.
Okay.
So he learned the ways of his gypsy father's healing powers and his mother's magic and sorcery ways. He went off on his own for a while, started creating crazy inventions and tricking people with his smart and cunning ways.
Okay.
Until one day when he was old enough, the Dean of Science to the State University of America found him and offered him a scholarship to come just learn things in America.
That's it? There's gotta be more.
He goes there. His first and only friend is Reed Richards. He starts experimenting with matter transmutation, and dimensional warps. He has all the schematics out and his things, and Reed looks at it and he's like, "Oh, you have some things that are wrong there. You might want to fix that and whatnot." And he's like, "Don't tell me what to do. It's my business. Get out of here." And he goes and pushes through the experiments, and he puts on like a big hair salon salad bowl over his head, and he's like, "I'm going to do it. Push the button." And he pushes the button, and the whole thing explodes.
Yeah.
And he's like the character Hush from Batman. He's all wrapped up.
Oh, great.
He's like, his face is ruined and you're expelled. And he's like, whatever, you can't teach me anything anyway. So once that happens, he runs away to the mountains of Tibet
Batman style.
to learn the secrets of black magic and sorcery.
Not Batman style.
He gets taken in by a mysterious order of monks. He stays there for months learning their ways. He makes his suit there and he learns sorcery powers after being there for months and all the black magic that they know there. And then wreaks havoc
So
on
they
the
just
world
didn't.
in his
They
suit.
just they 10 years is when they skipped over all that part, and they just decided not to.
In the
mention
mountains of
it.
Tibet, I'm assuming. And then once he left there, he went and took over Latveria and became the monarch.
So then, why doesn't he have any fucking magic powers in this?
Yeah,
That's
that's why I said I don't know what they're doing here, but
That's a mess. That's not fun at all. Ugh, why? This is the worst villain. He started out
He can't
really
do
good.
anything.
He started out really fucking good, and then, geez, nothing, huh?
came out with his cat claws. He was worse than Catwoman from the Tim Burton film, because she had whips and gymnastics. And
Yeah.
9 lives. He had a glass jaw and cat claws.
He's supposed to be a gypsy witch con man savant, but instead he's an egomaniac end.
He's meant to be a perfectionist. There's supposedly Jack Kirby, who originally made the character and drew him.
Okay.
There's supposedly early drawings of his from the 70s that what Doom would look like without his mask on. And it said that he only had like a tiny scratch on his face, and that he was such a perfectionist that he was ruined, ugly. He couldn't show his face to the world, so he made the mask, and that's what he always wore.
So he's a little bitch.
Yeah, that's one other origin story.
I read that. I immediately thought of like Kane from yeah, Kane.
Another one was that the mask he made was too hot and burned his face severely.
He just put it on too soon.
Yeah, he couldn't wait. That's actually in Fantastic Annual number 2. Back in the 60s, that he was like, it's not even cooled down yet, sir. And he's like, he can't wait, put it on now. And he just puts it on. And he's like, perfect. Doesn't even like react.
So is
Okay.
it part of his face then?
Yeah. After that, yeah, kind of would be, yeah. So yeah, we're not done yet. Even though the main villain's dead, we're not done yet. Johnny Flame Storm. What's his name?
Storm.
Johnny
That's
Storm.
it. Johnny
Flame
Storm
on.
catches up to the laser. And he gets up to the laser in New York, and he gets in front of it, and he stops it, and he pushes it back, and he pushes it out into space, and he punches it into fireworks. And that's it. And we go to a wedding sometime later in the future, and Susan and Reed are done. They're married. They're already married.
They're getting married.
No, they've got the
Oh,
reception's
they're li-
over.
yeah,
they're
they're-
already married, and they're coming out. Yay! Here's Grace.
she's in her wedding dress. He's in his Fantastic Four uniform.
Which is funny because I didn't even notice it. And once again, another thing that my girlfriend noticed, she's like, wait, why are they all wearing their suits? And I
Yeah,
was
and
looking,
she's
I'm
in
like-
her dress.
And I was like,
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Ben's just wearing his blue tighty whities. Completely appropriate for a wedding.
No, I think that he's wearing pants in this movie. I don't know. Oh, at the end he had tiny
Yeah,
white.
he had the blue.
Yeah, he had the blue.
Wow.
During the
forget
final
that.
fight scene,
Yeah.
he was wearing them, and during that
Oh,
scene, he was wearing
okay.
them.
The rest of the time he had just.
I like the blue pants he
Yeah.
had.
Yeah. So then he's like, all right, we'll try not to get in trouble without you. And then Reed and they get into the thing and they drive away, and you see Reed's super long arm wave out of the moonroof.
It's like a
all
puppet.
Yeah,
It
just
looks
out of
so
control.
bad.
I presume that because it was coming out of the moonroof and it was all the way to the right of the moonroof, that Susan was also waving, but invisible.
Stop.
That's what I presume. Yeah, the end. That's it. Oh, man. What a crazy film. Again, they're 10 years apart. That's weird. Like, this guy,
They were 20 years apart.
it's... Yeah, I know. Right? Yeah. He's clearly in his 40s. All right, so, what'd you guys think? What was that one?
I don't think it was too bad. I actually enjoyed it.
I liked it the first time I watched it. The
Yeah?
second time I watched it, I was like, this movie's so bad. But the first time I watched it, I was like, this is good. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
The characters were spot on.
Yeah.
I really liked that. Some of the acting was just terrible, but a lot of it wasn't that bad.
It
followed a nice flow, had a nice message.
I didn't think the acting. When you say some of the acting was bad, I didn't think you have to be specific.
Just anytime Victor's on screen.
Pre-Doom Victor was awful. Some of the Johnny stuff was a little over the top.
I didn't like anything with Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm or Thing.
The Thing, anything with him was
I
bad.
think it was awful. That whole story
I
arc.
didn't like him at all.
I didn't like the lighting, to be honest. I thought all the lighting in the film was awful.
Yeah, that's
The lighting
true,
was
'cause
terrible. All of it. Everything was...
I felt like some of the editing too was bad in how they put some scenes, like how you guys mentioned in the beginning, how they flip back and forth from Ben in the classroom scene, and you don't even know it's the same character.
Yeah, a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
They didn't say names, and you didn't know who they
Right.
were. And
I wish that they actually did release this film so we could have learned that the whole Bane thing does not work. Like, the whole Dark Knight Rises could have been a little bit better if they released this and they went, oh, that's going to be a problem, huh?
I couldn't understand what he was saying a
No.
lot of times.
No! No matter how loud I put it, it was just muffled louder.
I do not know if they're in Latveria, because there was a scene where he says where they are. I can't understand what he's saying.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Bring your family, come back down. But he says where they are.
I didn't even notice that.
you can't-
because you can't hear what he says.
Yeah,
He muffles
no,
it.
it's awful.
He's walking down the stairs or something. Where are we? You're in the bed.
Yeah. To be honest, the only reason I understood most of the dialogue is because Doom would be like, blah, 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 and then he'd be like, no, Doom, we're not going to go back to our rooms. And just say exactly what he said, like, just openly defy them or agree
Shoot
with
him
them.
as Chewbacca.
Like just blah, 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 blah. No, you'll never take our powers. Like, okay, I think what he's saying. I get it. And the ending was awful. From the last fight scene to the wedding, just you could have just faded to black. That was all pointless. It was just ugh, I didn't
getting
like
tired
it.
of it at that point.
Yeah, at that, I was just,
right around where Ben turned into the Hulk.
yeah.
Right about there, I was like, I'm completely done with this
yeah,
film.
Okay.
Completely done.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I didn't think the CGI was too bad. I didn't think the costume was too bad. It just wasn't good enough, really. I think most of my problem with everything was it wasn't good enough. It wasn't bad.
It should
A lot
have
of things
been
wasn't
good.
bad, but it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't as good as it should have been.
It was one of the best of their time, and they just can't recreate it. It's unfortunate. Fantastic Four. It was one of the best comic titles of the time.
All right. Well, would you guys make a sequel?
They set it up, and I would. They've made sequels to worse. I liked it. I think they can do better.
What would you do? I know it's throwing you in the spot, but what would you? You made a sequel. What would you do? I mean, well, that's why I usually say no because there's nothing to do.
Definitely time travel.
You definitely do a time
Definitely
travel thing?
time travel, because that's what they do.
To what?
Doom would still be alive. Doom would make them travel, would send them back into time to like probably like the dinosaur area,
Great.
prehistoric, and then they would randomly try to get jumped back forward because they would maybe like grab the machine and then, like half of it would get transported off, so he's trying to fix it. So they would try to shoot back to the future, but they'd only by like time periods get closer and closer.
Yeah.
Like the Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking that.
That's where I was. Yeah.
That's not even
Like Turtles in Time, Turtles in Time with Fantastic Four. That's four of them, so it's fine. It works.
It's the same.
It works.
They stole it from Fantastic Four.
No, I don't know. I got a whole quantum
What were
leap
you?
vibe.
Quantum Leap. You're gonna go Quantum
Yeah.
Leap style. Ziggy says we can't go back.
That's what I would do.
Ziggy says
Fantastic Four was just a ripoff of the Justice League of America.
All right, well, hey, that's what everything is really. Somebody makes something good and they go, I like that, but I changed this thing, and they change it and they keep changing it, and then eventually it's its own thing, you know. That's life. Eventually, there's no original ideas anymore. All right, so this is when we would normally do opinions and assholes, but the movie wasn't released, so I can't get Amazon reviews.
Yeah.
And like way back when the podcast first started, we used to do Amazon and IMDb, but IMDb reviews are so hard to like take seriously, mostly because they're all at the least a paragraph, like a thick paragraph long. There's nothing like the Amazon ones are like 2-3 sentences. It's fine. Always, it's like 3-4 paragraphs. They tell you the whole plot. I go, I can't do this. Also, the numbers are insane. I don't know how their algorithm works. Just to give you an idea, right? This movie, 264 people gave it 10 stars, which is 9.4% out of the potential 2,802 people that voted. Just to give you some more numbers, overall, it got a 4 out of 10. The movie, so it's not very good. Also, 18.5%, 519 people gave it a 1. So, I mean, more people did hate it than liked it. So just to point out. But females over the age of 45 gave it the highest ranking, which was 3.5.
Really?
That was the highest it got out of anyone.
I can see that.
But I should also point out that that was only 49 females. So I don't know how that averages out. But yeah, just to give you an idea, I don't know how this works. I guess you can opt out of any like identifier they give you, like if you age, gender, area, like you can just go, no, I don't answer that to anything, I think. Because basically what we have here is, like I said, there was 2,802 votes total. That's how many people voted. But for some reason we have males, there were 2,088 votes. And females, there were 212 votes, which means we're missing 502 people voting. I actually looked it up today, and the numbers went up to 2,814. And I did the math again, and now we're off by 505 numbers. Like, it's so, like, I don't understand how it works.
This is Al Gore controversy right here.
It's some hardcore stuff.
Where did these numbers come from?
This is just the
I
algorithm
demand
they
a
use.
recount.
It's weird stuff. even the full, like, I don't know how this works again, but again, here's, look, 2,802 votes, right? 1,096 from the U.S., 1,017 not from the U.S.
Still missing.
How? Yeah, you're still missing a crazy amount of people. Like, I don't understand how this works. Like, I guess you can just go, no, I don't. Here's my name, done. Like, that's it. So yeah, we don't really have second opinions so much. What we do, as we said, we do have it's got an average of 4 to 10 on IMDb, so it's a little bit less than half of everybody likes it.
I'd give it like
I think 4 is kind of
four is kind. I guess
4. Yeah.
I'd maybe give it a 5.
Yeah,
I'd maybe give it a 5. What about you, Danny?
I'd stick with the 4.
Yeah. I'd give it a 5. I guess I'm more along the lines of females 45 plus. I gave it a 5.
Hey, we learn something new about ourselves every day, you know? All right, so that's everything we have to say. If you enjoyed this or anything else we may do, you can go to www.ymt.com. You can get our Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, Vimeo, Lips, and everything there. You can get it there. You can download episodes absolutely for free on there. Again, that's www.ymt.com. Just go ahead and click the episode pages, and then you'll see the directions how to do that. You can also get us on iTunes on the various ways that you can download podcasts. We are available there. Just search "Why Would You Make This?" It's very simple. Skylar has a blog called fullofcomics.tumblr.com. You got anything going on over there? I saw the last thing you were looking at was you were reading some of the Blackest Night series.
Oh, I love it. It's written by Jeff Johns. He's one of my favorite comic writers.
Yeah. Are you still doing that? Or?
Yeah, it's really long. It's taking me forever to read. It's zombies. It's everyone who's died from the past, so it's got a huge cast of people in it. So it's everything that I want in it. So everyone's dying left and right. They're just killing people off. Cool. I love it so far.
All right, well, hey.
I've gotten off the newer stuff just because I've gotten sick and tired of it. So
the new 52 stuff, not so
yeah,
fun anymore.
that ended. So I stopped reading it. So I'll get back into it eventually. But
all right, so hey, if you're interested in anything of that, you can go to fullofcomics.tumblr.com. Today's Troy McClure clip comes from me, Jimmy Time. And taking us out today will be, why not, the theme song to the 1962 Hanna-Barbera cartoon The Jetsons by Hoyt Curtin. I believe that's copywritten by ABC. I don't know. I'm just trying to put that out there. I listened to a Earwolf podcast a few days ago, and they said that apparently waiting till the end to do all like the music, like credits and stuff like that, leaves them legally open.
Huh.
So that's why I started the episode. If you noticed, I said the "Falling Off Your Love" at the beginning was our intro music. I hope somebody noticed that.
Copywritten.
Yeah. So please join us next time when we watch the 2005 version of Fantastic Four.
The Search for More Money.
I think I see why it's happening now, because in 1994, the one we just watched was called The Fantastic Four. The one we're going to watch next is called Fantastic Four, and I think the one coming out soon is Fantastic the number 4.
I believe so.
So they have to change it every time.
I don't know, because the original comic they wrote The Fantastic Four, and not till issue 5 they changed it to just Fantastic Four.
Well, I mean, I think it's because
there's no more new at that point.
because of the yeah.
No, it's not new. It was just The Fantastic
I
Four.
think the distinction though is the newest movie coming out where it's Fantastic number 4. I
Yeah.
think that's where it follows the pattern of they're gonna have to change it. If they reboot the franchise again, it's probably going to be The Fantastic and then the number 4. So they can keep going, like, ugh, we don't have more.
I hope they never try to reboot it.
It'll be like Fast 7, and it'll be like just 4 Fantastics. Like they'll just go in there over crazy, yeah.
The Fantastics.
The Fantastics, yeah. Number 4. I don't know, something weird. Yeah, so join us for that. Fantastic Four starring Jessica Alba, Chris Evans, Ione Grufford, and Michael Chiklis. Yeah, that'll be fun. So for Danny Money and Skylar, I am Jimmy Time. Please remember that without the mistakes of others, we would be forced to endure the pain of failure ourselves. Support the arts.
Meet
preceding recording is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of Why Would You Make This, its owners, employees, or associates.